York's classic rock, Q1043.
And Bert Kreischer is in the studio with us. You are like a Renaissance man. I mean, you do everything. I mean, it's just incredible. I know the last time that we spoke, I'm not sure if the last time we spoke you were in Serbia. I know we spoke when you were in Serbia.
Yes.
But we've conversed a couple of times. I think the last time we talked, we were talking about your tour of drive-ins all over the country when everything was locked down. You ended up being able to visit, over 35 cities and have a sold-out tour when nothing was open.
It was amazing. And I think as any comic listening would go, how are the shows? And the first show we did was in a rock quarry in North Carolina, and it was so cool because Americans were getting to go out of their house for the first time, and they set up like smokers. I mean, it was like all the stuff they've been wanting to do in a safe way, and to be able to experience that was like probably an experience of a lifetime. That, and when the country shut down, we took my tour bus from New Orleans to L.A., like in a mad race to beat the pandemic.
Right.
And that was one of the coolest things.
Nice.
I hate to put a good spin on the pandemic, but I quit drinking for like 3 months. I created a tour. I had a really great pandemic. I shot a movie. I mean, it turned out good for me.
Well, the movie, and when is the movie going to be?
I think we're going to wait until this whole Russian thing calms down.
Yes, I know.
I mean, Putin's killing my release date.
It was filmed in Serbia, but the movie is based on one of the most famous comedy routines of all time, with more than 85 million views. And, I mean, it's a study about you getting involved with the Russian mob while being a college student in a train ride, and I mean, but
it's an outlandish story. It is an outlandish story. Even when I was telling it, I first told it on Rogan's podcast, and even when I told it, I was like, "Did this really happen?" Like, because you tell the story enough, and then you're like, "Is that how we met?" And then sometimes other people remember other things. The reason it went viral is because I posted it from my Showtime special on Facebook. And then I read one of the comments, like it started going viral, and I was like, why? And one comment had like 15,000 replies to it. And I went, whose comment's that? Is this woman? And her comment was, I was in Bert's Russian class. I was on this trip. This story is 100% true. He robbed us. And
Wow.
I think, and that what started happening is other people started ripping the story and posting it on their page, and they would put in the banner on top and bottom, this is a true story. And everyone would comment, and then she tagged all my classmates, and they just started posting pictures of. And then people would go like, "Hey man, I'm curious, what did Igor look like?" And they're like, "Here's a picture of Bert and Igor arm wrestling," and so that was the traction behind it. And then it was a
yeah, but
game changer.
now you've turned it into an actual motion picture with Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill is my dad. Yeah. It's man, he is such a generous dude, and a great sense of humor. One of our co-leads is Eastern European. She pulls me aside first day of shooting, and she goes, "I've never seen Star Wars, so please don't bring it up at dinner tonight." And I go, "You've never seen Star Wars?" She goes, "It's not my thing."
How is that possible?
That was it, she said in the Eastern European they didn't show Star Wars. It just didn't get played. Right? That's what she said.
Well, Star Wars came out when the Iron Curtain was still there, and communism and
and so I said, okay. So then we go to dinner. Mark's sitting next to her, and I'm like, Eva, you're a huge Star Wars fan, right? And immediately she shuts down, takes a sip of her drink, and she goes, yes, I love all the movies. And I said, what's your favorite one? And she goes, the one with Mark in it. And I go, what's your? And Mark goes, what did you love about Star Wars, Eva? And she goes, typical good guy versus bad guy type story. I go,
awesome answers.
Yeah, she goes, I go, who's your favorite character? She goes, other than Mark, I think it would have to be Chewbacca. And I was like, can you do an impression of Chewbacca, Eva? And she goes, an impression? Oh, yes. Hello, I'm Chewbacca.
Well, when did you go first see Star Wars?
Oh, when it came out, and there was this real moment because we took a private jet from L.A. to Serbia because of quarantine and just getting through, being safe to get there. And there's a moment I'm drinking Double Jack on the rocks. My cousin's next to me. The executive producer of the movie, Cale Boyder, is next to me. And I look back and I'm like, I'm on a plane with Luke Skywalker. I'm on a plane.
Man.
And I just was like, this was the guy I wanted to be. I wanted to be Luke Skywalker. I wanted to have the hovercraft. I wanted to be able to jump around the jungle with Yoda on my back. I wanted to be able to move things with my face. And and I said that to Cale, and Cale goes, are you kidding me? He goes, he's the reason I'm making movies. I saw Star Wars, and I was like, I'm making movies. And we both moved to the back of the plane and sat next to him and talked his ear off. I FaceTimed Brian Regan. He's like, I'm a big fan of Brian Regan's. And I was like, well, I think he'd love to hear that. FaceTime Brian Regan from a private jet. I was like, I'm here with Mark Hamill. And he's like, Luke Skywalker? Yeah.
It's Bert Kreischer who's with us here at Q104.3. The Birdie Boy Relapse Tour is the current name of the tour. That one where you did drive-ins and stuff, that was the Hot Summer Nights Tour.
I hate when we were younger comics, I would watch certain comics brand their tours when they were just doing clubs. And I was like, that's just called work. You're just going to work. I'm going to do clubs for the rest of my life. And then when you start doing theater tours, you need to give it a name. And I remember the first one was easy. It was Body Shots. And it was great, right? I'm half serverless. The next one was Birdie Boy. And I was like, okay, that's what my sisters call me. And I was like, great. Then they're like, well, we're going to do this other one. And I was like, why can't we just... So then I had to come up with Hot Summer Nights. And then pandemic hits. We have to refill those dates. And they're like, we need a new name for the Birdie Boy tour to let them know that is the tour they bought tickets for. So then we turned into the Birdie Boy Relapse Tour. And then I got a lot of people. You know, in today's society, you cannot talk about anything without someone getting massively upset. And they're like, first of all, I've relapsed 4 or 5 times, and it's not funny, okay? It ruins families. And I was like, yeah, that's on you, man.
Yeah, right?
I'm so sorry that happens to you.
Bert Kreischer is with us. We were just talking about that earlier, that you have to be so careful. Anything you say about anything.
Yeah. I'll tell you what my wife said. My wife said something that was a huge, it blew up, and it was our school. And it was like 5 years ago. My wife said, wait one cotton picking minute.
Oh, wow.
And when it came out, I went, whoa. Whoa, baby, where did that come from? And she goes, well, that's what you say in the South. And she goes, it ain't racist. And I was like, well, it may not be racist, but it really sounds racist. And then I Googled it, and there are racial undertones to it. The point is, and I say this some in New York, the two differences, a New York minute and a cotton picking minute. The theory is the cotton is the most tedious task you can do. So if you pick cotton for 1 minute, it takes forever. It feels like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So when you say that, you're like, give me more than 1 minute. Whereas as we all know, a New York minute happens in 30 seconds.
Exactly.
Right? And so, but I was like, well, it doesn't matter. Let's just get it out of the vernacular.
Yeah, well, right, because you have to be careful because your intent doesn't matter.
Your intent doesn't matter anymore.
Your intent doesn't matter anymore. It's how something is heard and received that matters.
Yeah, and I understand that.
It's at your peril. I mean, you can innocently end up erased forever and not really understand why.
Oh, one of my favorite things to do is watch NFL players talk about their feelings about the gay community. You're like, that didn't come out right, bro. You're on ESPN. What are you talking about? And then, but I'm not the kind of guy that writes the article, but I will notice it and then just be like, whoa,
yeah,
someone shouldn't be talking in front of a camera.
Well, we'll be back with Bert Kreischer in a few right here at the Q. Bert Kreischer is with us here at Q104.3. I just want to mention quickly the podcasts that you do because you're partnered up with two of the other biggest names in your field.
Yes.
Tom Segura and Bill Burr.
Attach yourself to greatness, and people will think you're great also.
and Hey Big Boy is what is that? That's Netflix. Right?
I have 3 Netflix specials. I have The Machine. I have Secret Time, and then Hey Big Boy. Hey Big Boy dropped March 17th. Of 2020, stay-at-home orders were on March 13th, It did really well.
Okay. and Comfortably Dumb.
Comfortably Dumb is an old album.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm just mentioning some of the stuff that we've got here. And your book, Life of the Party, Stories of a Perpetual Man-Child. This is the segment that we call shameless plugging.
I like it. The Cabin on Netflix. Go Big Show on TBS.
Right.
The Bert Cast, Open Tabs.
Yep.
I am a man that believes you make hay while the sun shines. So if people are wanting to hear me talk, I will talk as much as I can. And when they want to stop, I'll stop, and I will ride off into the sunset, hopefully with enough money.
We appreciate your dropping by, which is why I want to make sure we shamelessly plug, all the stuff that you're doing. And also, I mean, come on, let's be real. It's 8:21 in the morning. Here you are in our Tribeca studios. You're going to be on stage tonight at 7 at NJ Pack in Newark, New Jersey. I mean, we appreciate you getting your butt up out of bed early to come visit with us.
I enjoy radio probably more than anything, and I think that's that early grooming of it's a privilege to be able to do radio, for people to give you their microphone and share their audience with you, and I know that 100% through podcasting as well, is when people share an audience with you, it means a lot. So thank you.
And next week, Brooklyn. King's Theater. Have you seen the King's Theater? Have you been to the King's
I've never
Theater?
seen the King's Theater.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you are going to freak out.
Really?
It is so awesome. This beautiful historic theater that they restored. I mean, it's just absolutely great.
And go look at the organ in the lobby. It'll blow your mind.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, when you get there in the afternoon to do your sound check and stuff, be able to wander around and check. I mean, it is just, it's awesome.
I have a request of Bert right now.
Okay.
Can you just please say hi to Rosario Dawson for me?
Oh my gosh. She's probably listening. She lives up here.
Yeah.
Rosario is one of the most fantastic, insightful, educated, meaning like when you talk about what's going on in the world, educated in that sense. Like I'll say to her at work, I'll say like, what's meritocracy mean? Because I'll hear the word a bunch, and then she'll explain it to me and explain why it's problematic and explain where I probably heard it. And I will also say, and this is third on my list, the most strikingly gorgeous human being I've ever seen in my entire life.
And the celebrity judge on the Go Big Show.
Yes.
Yeah, and Snoop Dogg, who's here quite often.
Yes, he is.
I bump into him in the hallways here a lot. The beautiful Jennifer Nettles.
Jennifer. Yeah, Jennifer. I mean, I'm surrounded by amazingly gorgeous women, and they're the sweetest human beings alive. I love them.
Okay, well, Newark, New Jersey tonight. New Jersey Performing Arts Center, 7 p.m. next week. Brooklyn, King's Theater. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I just saw this note. You gave us a pair of tickets for the show at the King's Theater to give away.
Please.
The Birdie Boy Relapse Tour. March 31st. That is next Thursday.
I think it's the only show in town that night, if I'm not mistaken. There's no one else performing at the Garden or anything like that.
Look, no one else performing anywhere.
Anywhere. I think they're shutting down a lot of things.
Yeah, there'll be nobody else anywhere. Not even any of your other friends or people that you frequently work with.
Listen, if you want to see an overweight, overrated comic, then you probably want to go to the King's Theater. That's me.
And not only that, but you'll like strip too.
Look, you can't go wrong. I love Tommy. I would love to trash his date. The material's all right. I mean, it's good. It's very racist. It's very homophobic. If you're into that, then I would go. But if you want to hear Christian,
he's talking about one of his best friends, Tom Segura, who is also performing that same night.
Very, very pro-Russia, anti-Ukraine. He's a very, very, very talented guy, but his views can be off. I mean, he loves using pronouns that are wrong. He loves misgendering people.
Okay, caller 25.
He'll be at the Garden, but if you want to see what America stands for, some Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes type comedy, then you come to King's Theater.
Ric Flair's daughter is going to be here tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning.
For real?
Yes.
Who?
Caller 25 at 888-872-1043 wins a pair of tickets for the Birdie Boy Relapse
By the way,
Tour.
I just said all that about Tom. You know, there's a couple morons that are like, for real? I might like that show then.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I might like that show. I like Putin.
No, What's the name of your podcast that you do with him?
Two Bears, One Cave.
Two Bears, One Cave. Good title.
It started
Very good
because we were
title.
fantasizing of what our gay relationship would be like.
It's-
And we got so excited about it that we're like, we should do a podcast just about us being gay. And we have done some very questionable, like we've had a lot of fun.
All right. Bert Kreischer, thank you for dropping by this morning here
I
at
appreciate it.
Q104.3.
New York's classic rock, Q1043.